Let's start this video by getting the big reveal out of the way. Yes, the kid we've come to know as Egg is actually Aegon Targaryen, the youngest son of Maekar who had gone missing on the way up to the tournament. We'll get back to the reveal scene itself toward the end of the video, of course, but I love how well both the book and the show did at weaving in hints of his true identity without hitting us over the head with them. I tried to point out as many of them as possible in my previous videos without spoiling what exactly they were alluding to, other than that Egg wasn't exactly who he seemed. Speaking of Egg, the episode opens to him sneaking off with Dunk's horse. It seems that seeing the tournament in action the night before, he realized that Dunk isn't the only one who needs skill if they want to have any success. Being a squire is extremely dangerous and physically taxing as well, so he trains the horse and himself, practicing both its riding on command and his ability to briskly bring Dunk heavy weapons and armor. As he's wrapping up their training session, he's approached by a strange one-eyed man who accuses him of stealing the horse. After prompting the man to recount the story of how he lost his eye in a joust, Egg recognizes him as a knight named Robin Riesling. Robin seems to be a bit of a religious fanatic, obsessed with the warrior, which is one of the 7 aspects of the god in the Faith of the Seven, the dominant religion in Westeros outside of the north. While I don't see how their encounter concluded, Egg returns to the camp unharmed with the horse in tow. Perhaps he revealed his true identity to Robin to get out of the situation? Back at their camp, Dunk is incredibly nervous for the tournament. Projecting strength over his nerves, Dunk presents a stoic, harsh front toward Egg, which he can't keep up for very long. It quickly gives way for his standard kindness and care toward Egg, and eventually further gives way to nervous vomiting. While Dunk vomits away, Egg is singing a comical song. With the context of the episode's ending in tow, we can see that this song is filled with lore about both his immediate family and the offshoot branch, the Blackfires. As someone who is always grateful for nuggets of history in this universe, I did love that quick addition here that wasn't in the book. However, it seems a bit odd that Egg would be singing a song about something that wasn't really yet history, but information about his immediate family. As Dunk finishes puking his guts out, he's ready to ride over to the tournament and enter the fray. Unfortunately, Egg quashes his burst of courage by informing him that only lords and renowned knights can enter on the first day. Why this rule wasn't made more clear to Dunk when he was entering the tournament was a bit odd, but the reveal was funny regardless. Now that Dunk can't compete, the duo instead spend the morning wandering Ashford, making god-tier looking breakfast sandwiches and watching the tournament. While the two are relaxing and enjoying the day, Dunk is approached by Plumber, the master of the games and the steward of Ashford, who asks to take a solo walk with him. While walking through the woods, Plumber informs Dunk that the tournament took a huge financial toll on House Ashford. He then proposes what he sees as a win-win plan to Dunk. In this plan, Dunk would challenge Lord Ashford's son in the tournament. Ashford's son, who would be the clear predicted favorite to win against a random unknown hedge knight, would purposely lose. Plumber, who would have taken bets on the match from many of the attendees, would rake in a ton of money to fix the house's financial issues, while at the same time, Dunk would get the horse, armor, and notoriety he needs to kickstart his career. We then see Dunk's moral caliber on full display. Dunk was already planning to win the match, and no one would know about him and Plumber's arrangement. Yet still, he doesn't agree to go along with it, only wanting to win on his own merit. While Dunk doesn't give Plumber a definitive answer there and then, we see him visually reject Plumber when he passes him on the tournament grounds later in the episode. Soon after their private conversation ends, a horn starts blaring, signifying another match is about to begin. Dunk arrives back on the tournament grounds just in time to see Aerion Targaryen challenge a knight named Sir Humphrey Harding. As the match begins, Egg is screaming for Harding to kill Aerion. The usual excited fun tone of his cheer is gone. Seeing his father isn't watching the match, Aerion forgoes all formalities and stabs Harding's horse, and injures Humphrey himself when the horse falls on him. This incredibly poor sportsmanship causes a small riot to break out. The common folk are clearly tired of Aerion's bullshit. This was just the tipping point. Baelor, watching this all unfold from the Targaryen box in the stands, appears disgusted with his nephew, not supportive. This incident causes the rest of the day's matches to be cancelled, giving Dunk and Egg time to wander the grounds once the rain subsides. The two get to talking about if they knew their fathers. While Dunk didn't, he explains that he was told his father was hanged for being a thief by a shopkeeper in Flea Bottom. Egg also says he didn't know his father, which by the end of the episode we know is Maekar. This is pretty sad in hindsight, showing that Maekar has likely been a very absentee father toward Egg. Dunk and Egg are then approached by a fortune teller, who offers to tell the two their future. My crackpot theory for fellow book readers here is that what if this fortune teller is the ghost of Highheart? She's a witch we see a few times in the main book series that has strong ties to the Targaryens of this era, and specifically to the events that this fortune teller foretells here. She firstly tells Dunk that he shall know great success and be richer than a Lannister. She then tells Egg, on the other hand, something much darker. She states that he shall be king, but die in a hot fire, and that worms will feed upon his ashes. All the people he knows will rejoice in his death. Okay, now obviously I can't go any deeper here without giving spoilers. All I'll say is that those like myself who have read the books know exactly what she is talking about here. Egg is clearly disturbed by this fortune, while Dunk laughs it off as made-up gibberish. The two continue to wander the grounds, and eventually encounter Raymond Fossaway, who invites Dunk back to his tent for a drink. Egg splits off to attend Tansel's next puppet show, and plans to pick up Dunk's shield for him after it ends. It seems like Dunk wants to go see Tansel's show more, but also doesn't want to insult Raymond Fossaway, so he reluctantly obliges. While in the privacy of the Fossaway tent, Raymond begins to rant about his grievances toward Aerion and the rest of the Targaryen family. This scene is another example of how the people are getting fed up with House Targaryen and their occupation of Westeros, especially now that the dragons they use to keep people in line are gone. In this conversation, Raymond revealed a few interesting points to Dunk. The first is that Maekar has left the tournament in search of his two missing sons, Daeron and Aegon. He then proceeds to describe all of Maekar's sons from oldest to youngest. Daeron, while technically Maekar's heir, is a washed-up alcoholic. Aerion is a vain and cruel monster, as we've seen. The third son, whose name we don't get, apparently got sent off to the Citadel to become a maester. Now, if you recall back to Game of Thrones, there's a son of Maekar Targaryen in that series with a brother that he called Egg, and we know he became a renowned maester. And the final, youngest son, well, the conversation is suddenly interrupted by Egg bursting into the tent, begging Dunk for help. Dunk immediately rushes over to the puppet show to find Aerion torturing Tansel. He claims he's doing so because she put on a play in which a dragon is slain, and according to him, a dragon should never lose. In his sick head, that play makes her a traitor worthy of torture. He's able to break one of Tansel's fingers before Dunk snaps and, in fury, attacks him. In that one moment, Dunk throws away his entire future by striking a royal, the worst crime you can commit in this society, just to protect one innocent person. That shows you exactly the kind of person Dunk is, willing to throw away all of his aspirations and goals just to do what's right. It also shows you exactly the kind of person Aerion is, if his torturing of Tansel didn't do that already. Even though he's both a knight and a member of the royal family, in his sickness and privilege, he can't understand why anyone would sacrifice anything of themselves to protect an innocent. Aerion, along with his guards, are about to break out Dunk's teeth when into the tent walks Egg. He commands the guards to stop what they're doing, and they obey. When asked by Aerion why he shaved his head, Egg answers, "I didn't want to look like you, brother." Right then and there, everything clicks into place for Dunk. Egg isn't a poor orphan boy from Flea Bottom like him, but Aegon Targaryen, the youngest son of Maekar and part of the royal family. Now Dunk's entire future is caught between the word of one royal family member versus the word of another. And that about does it for episode 3. If you enjoyed this breakdown and would like to see more Song of Ice and Fire content of this nature, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Just giving a quick note here that because this Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, the release of episode 4 will actually be moved up to this Friday. I'll try to have my breakdown video up for you as soon as possible after that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon for episode 4.